How about Trey Green? This guy, Trey Green, Paul. I would say the fact that he is ready right now, even if his shots aren't going down yet. And that's important because they need offense. They need another shooter, and they need someone who's wired that way. Not who just has the ability, but like Colby Jones, for instance, his first couple of years, even if he was ready to take on a bigger scoring load, he just wasn't really wired to score. He was more of a distributor and a playmaker, and he kind of developed that killer instinct and that being more of a go-to guy instinct later in his career that last season. With Trey Green, he has that right now. And they need someone who has that to go along with Desmond Claude to step up and take some of the scoring load off of Dez's shoulders. Now, Trey's going to have to start making some three-pointers at some point if he's going to fulfill that role. But I don't worry about that. Like, the one thing I know Trey Green can do is shoot at a high level. It was all the other stuff that I was more concerned about. Is his size just going to be too big of an issue, whether it be on offense or defense? Will some of the quickness stuff and the ball handling and passing he does, that's pretty slick, will that just not quite cut it at the high major Division I level? Well, so far we've seen all of that stuff looks fine. He just has to start making the open threes that he's getting. And like I said, and I think you'll back me up on, that's one thing that I just have zero concerns about, is whether he's going to shoot well over the long haul.
And the other thing, too, is he's not somebody that's going to back down from taking the shots just because they aren't going in. And eventually that's going to pay off in more made shots. It might be frustrating in the beginning because they're not falling, but it's not like he's going to shoot it at 20 or 22% over the next 3 or 4 games. And then all of a sudden you're going to see him take 2 a game from there on out the rest of the way, just because they aren't going down. He's going to be a volume shooter. Eventually they are going to fall. Trust us on this. We have seen a large enough sample size that 3 games at a Division I level is not a big enough sample size to go out here and say, oh, all right, let's reel it back in. Let's just take 2 or 3. That can't happen for this team.
Well, and not only is he not going to be discouraged or back down because of a shooting slump, but he's also not going to shy away from the big lights, the big environments. I mean, you saw it. It doesn't get any tougher than Mackey Arena in terms of environments that you're playing in, and against a team that's ranked number 2 in the country, pretty good competition. And he was ready to go. The shots weren't necessarily going down, but he came out gunning. And that first 3 that he hit in the first half, I felt like it was a big shot at the time. Like it felt like it was keeping Xavier in the game at that moment when the game was starting to slip away. And then he hit another big shot later in the first half and dropped off an assist to Kashienze. So like, I thought Trey Green actually kind of kept Xavier in the game for those final 7 or 8 minutes of the first half at Mackey. And to me, that's the thing that really stands out, is the game isn't too big for him. He's ready to go. And as soon as the shots start dropping, he is going to really, I think, honestly, I could see him moving into more of a starting role, or at least playing starter-like minutes as the 6th man for this team.
Yeah, I could too. Don't edit that.